Okay, back again for part 2. We have this side fully disassembled. We're going to turn it over. We're going to place it in the top portion of the movement holder. And before we do anything, we're going to get another jewel out. And that's going to be the top part of the balance. Make sure I'm in the shot. There we go. I'm using a heavy oiler. Oh boy. A heavy oiler to ease that out. And I should have put a piece of Rotico on it. That's always a good idea. Because the jewel did pop out. It doesn't go far, it just kind of lands on your bench. So there's our jewel for that. Because the first thing we're taking out is the balance. We're going to get that out of the way. Looks like I got a little magnetism on my screwdriver. These parts are slick, they fit together nicely. When they're pinned, they fit tight. So sometimes you got to get under them with a blade, give them a little nudge, and then they come out. Another indication of the quality movement, quality machining, the way everything comes apart. There's our balance. Not only comes apart, but goes together and fits. So now we basically have a regular movement here without the automatic winder. So we're going to start from here and work our way around. A lot of watch movements, or I shouldn't say a lot, Russian movements a lot of times will indicate a left-handed thread with a few more grooves cut into the screw head to let you know, hey, this is a left-handed thread. This isn't the situation here. This is a left-handed thread, but it doesn't tell you. You just need to know that. If I turn this to the right, it's going to loosen. If I turn it to the left, it's going to get tight. If you think it's a regular screw and you go to lean on it, loosening it, you are in fact tightening it. You could break a screw. Not a good situation. Okay, got a piece of lint here. The reason I am servicing this, even though it was working fine, it looked a little dirty in the window for the date. Okay, that just pops out. There's a spring underneath this lever. And it's that U-shaped spring right there. It is a tiny one. It's tiny and it can take off on you. So what I like to do, I'll put a piece of Rotico on it. And I'll come in here and grab it. And if it takes off, hopefully the Rotico grabs it. And there it is. That's a tiny spring. And if you lose one or break one, they're readily available on eBay for $8. I should know because I lost one. In my ultrasonic cleaner, it worked its way through the mesh of my basket, believe it or not. And I did find it sooner or later. So I actually have an extra. Now, we have a screw here for the winding mechanism. And I need to put a stop to it. I'm going to come in here with a thin blade, hold that gear from turning, and that screw will come off. Let's come around here so I can access it a little better. Okay, there we go. Nothing to it. Now we have 1, 2, 3 screws. That's going to hold on what I'm going to call mainspring barrel bridge. Mainspring bridge. I don't know the technical term for it. I know it's a bridge. I know it's helping out with holding in that mainspring barrel. So I'll keep it simple and call it that. I gotta take care of that screwdriver magnetism. It's not that bad, but I'll take care of it later. Putting the screws in my tray, and we come around, give this a little nudge. Lifts right off. Beautiful. Mainspring barrel. We're going to worry about that later. That is jeweled as well. You can see that. So before we take anything else out, let's come back around here to the pallet fork and the bridge. There's our stamping ETA 2824/2. I like to loosen each screw and then come back to them. It's just a habit I got into. Same thing for tightening. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of dirt in here. And I'm wondering where that dirt was when I first bought this. It was in the date window. It was visible, really visible with a loop. And anything that's been sitting for about 10 years, I'm going to want to do a service anyway. So here we go. Pallet bridge and pallet fork. And you can see those gears are all moving nice and slick. 2 screws for this bridge. Main gear train bridge, I guess we could call it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. How many minutes are we coming up? 8 minutes. Beautiful. Just because you don't know the name of a part doesn't mean you don't know where it goes, how it functions, and what it does. These are a really close fit. There's a little relief right there. That little cutout allows you to get a blade under there and lift that off. Beautiful. Now I think the way this works, well, we know the escape wheel is this one. That's obvious. That's an escape wheel. I think from the center out we have, this is the second-hand pinion. Let's get back into the shot. This was in the middle, like that. Second-hand pinion. And I think first wheel, then second wheel, I think. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Well, there you have it. A stripped movement. There's the base plate. And we're going to put everything in the cleaner. Get that looking good. And we're going to leave that in the holder. Now that we have everything apart, here's the auto winder. This is the back side of it. This is where the rotor mounted to, right here in the middle. And these are jeweled parts as well. Pretty easy to take apart. The parts can only go in one way, which is nice. And it has one screw holding everything together. Let's focus. Very tight screws. It's amazing how tight these little buggers can get. Another indication of a good quality material. Three of those are jeweled on that plate right there. And that just lifts off. 2 pins, 1 screw, 3 jewels. And it'll come apart in this order. If you look at those gears, you can see this configuration here compared to that one. So it's really impossible to mix these up. You're not going to get it together if you mix them up. So there's no use trying to remember where they go. This will come out first. This sits on a post. Very important that these get lubricated on that post. The ETA has been known, when that post gets dry of lubricant, when you wind the watch, it will spin the rotor. Transfer that energy to the rotor. There's these 2 gears, the reversers. One here, one here. I mean, you could put them here. You could do that. But when you go to assemble this, you're going to realize nothing is transferring power over to here. So, to me, these are idiot-proof on the way they go in there. Plus, you have the video to go to if you forget. So, there's a disassembled ETA 2824. Hopefully this is a little more clear for people, a little more, how do you call it, educational? I don't know, but I hope this helps.